Welcome, everyone, to the Puff Drink Talk podcast. As always, we are puffing on cigars, drinking a little bit here and there, and engaging in tantalizing conversations. Konrad here.
Dylan. Give me a second.
Hilton.
Giorgio.
El Jefe.
and Dylan gets a phone call
A work
Right
phone
away.
call.
as we start the thing.
Make that money, baby.
Should you restart?
Hey, man, that's 2026 for you right there in a bubble. We're here to make money. They're here to make money.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's happening.
It's a
right
business.
now. It's a
For
business.
profit.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a for-profit business.
This ain't no charity.
We got
flooring business.
Purpose, man. Purpose.
By the way, let me just tell to the camera here. I'm putting my camera on. Hold on. We are on YouTube and Spotify, and I think maybe you find us on any other podcast feed out there. So just give us a like, 5 stars, whatever it is. Follow us and add us to your podcast feed. Thanks very much for doing that for us. We are trying to get by the end, halfway through before the new football season, we want to get to 500 subscribers. So yeah, share this content and with everybody that you know, that you have. That would be great. On that note, also we have a repeat guest, Jeff.
What's up, gentlemen? Good to be back.
Yeah, thanks for coming, man.
Yeah.
Always
to have you
looking
back.
forward to it. It's been a while.
Yeah, when were you here last?
I think it was in October or early November.
Wow.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Jeez, yeah, it's been
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah. Hilton's been keeping me away.
I think it was September.
It
It might have
It
been.
might
I've
have
slept since then, so and there's no telling, man. There's no telling. Regardless, it's been too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to be back.
Well, good to have you back. How is everything?
It's good. It's good. Had a great holidays.
Yeah, I would ask
yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Don't like clouds. Excuse me, clouds. Crowds. So
Okay.
stayed close to home.
Good.
And so luckily all the family lives in the area, so got a chance to go spend a lot of time with the family and everything. So kids love it, and so really had a great time. New Year's, hadn't done anything really exciting. Took the wife out, which is always good. Got some quiet time with her because the kids were out doing the things that kids do at that age on New Year's.
Yep.
And so it was good. Good quiet time, a lot of family time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, he's building a very nice pool for a customer right now.
Ooh.
We've been very fortunate. We've got 3 pools that are going on, and we've got a couple of opportunities out for some other bids. So shout out to the staff because it's all those guys that are selling it and designing it, building it. I'm lucky enough to get to show up, talk to the homeowner, fly the drone, take the pictures and everything for social media. So I got the easy part.
Oh, that's cool.
It's awesome. It's a massive pool. It's pretty nice. It looks nice, man.
It is, and I like it too because 2 of them are in my backyard. So literally, I can fly my drone from my house to one of the pools that we're actually building.
That's cool.
Which is nice. So when I drive to 2 job sites and it takes me 5 minutes to get to both job sites, love it. That's hard to beat.
Oh yeah. Using your neighborhood as the pond where you're fishing for customers.
Yep. One of them was a friend of mine I haven't seen in years, and went to the gym. And we just connected at the gym, and we got to talking. He's like, "Hey, I noticed you posted something about a swimming pool." So that's even how it came about with one of those pools that we're building. Was just I was at the gym and was a friend I hadn't seen in years, and just started talking. I said, "Man, if you're interested, love to give you a bid." And I think he had 5 companies give a bid, and we ended up winning the job. Because at the end of the day, even though you're friends, he's still got to make business decisions,
Right.
and it worked out. And the best part about it is we weren't the most expensive, but we also weren't the cheapest bid. We were right in the middle. And so anyway, we also had the design that they really wanted. A couple of the other pool builders weren't willing to do kind of design that they wanted from that standpoint, which was pretty much a sunken kitchen is what it was. So you've got the pool, and the pool's like a bar at the coping area. So you're standing in the kind of with the covered patio, and you got a TV, you've got a cook station and everything, and literally the pool's right there. And then on the other side of where the pool is, we have bar stools. So
nice.
as you're sitting there cooking and serving and everything, you can have your guests sitting right there and everything. So pretty cool. Excited about it.
It's like a hotel, like a
Resort.
resort kind of thing.
Yeah,
It is.
resort
It
style.
is.
Oh, that's
Yep.
cool.
And we got one right now out in a certain neighborhood. Don't want to give too much information away, but could really be one if we get the job. We're bidding on it. We're one of 2 companies. It started off with like 6 a couple of months ago, and he's narrowed it down to us and another company, which is a good quality company also. So I have no problem bidding or losing a job to another company that does good work. And so excited about that because this one's close to $500,000, and it's got AstroTurf in the backyard, kitchen, large swimming pool, water features, and then we're even building a putting green with a sand bunker. Also, because he's an avid golfer, and it sits on the backside of a cliff in a neighborhood overlooking kind of a valley over in kind of the Westlake area. But again, contract's not signed, but it's a very cool design that our rendering gentleman did and everything. So.
Nice.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, man. I like your projects. They're
Yeah.
always very cool.
Thank you, thank you. Guys work hard. Guys work hard. That's all it is. I give them the ability to be successful. My job's to support them. You know, I love it when I interview someone. They go, you know, really, what's your role? My role is to make sure you're successful. If you're successful, then I'm doing my job as an owner. As long as you show up and do what your job description says, and you're capable and have the ability to do that, I'm here to support you. And just been lucky that we've got we're up to 10 employees. And so everybody really fits our core values with what we like to look for and everything. And again, we just put them in position to be successful.
Awesome. I love that.
Welcome back, Dylan.
Do your core values spell out roof by chance? Or pool? Or roof and pool?
It's mixed in there. Yes.
Square? Does
Yes.
it spell out as a
Eight
square?
square.
Square. Yep.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's always good when things fall in line like that because there's a lot of people out there that are good in a lot of qualities, but they don't check the core values.
They don't.
And sometimes, not really, most of the time, really all the time, the core values have to be more important than the performance because that's a representation of what your company is.
100%. Yep.
And,
I actually, now I didn't do this before because you've heard me say I do EOS, but that really taught me interviewing and making sure you're trying to find those people that kind of fall in, because if not, time and energy is money, and you find those people that just don't fit and you spend all that time training them and everything else. And I'd rather be a slow hiring process of finding the right people than spending too much time just trying to mass hire people because I got to put a warm body in a seat. And I never wanted to be a huge company anyway. That's not our goal. Our goal is to have a certain number of sales reps in each one of those roofing business and the construction business and allow them to put them in a position to be successful. Whatever that number looks like, I'm fine with, because I realize the bigger you get, the harder it is to find those people that fit your core values.
That's true.
Yep. For the audience out there, can you explain EOS?
So EOS is
And for Konrad.
it's a entrepreneurial operating system.
Okay.
Is what it is. EOS, it is a class that is taught throughout really out the world. And I was fortunate enough in the last 2 businesses to be part of that. And so it's like a 2-year process, and you go once a quarter, and then at the end of the year you go 2 days back to back. And what they're doing is they're basically teaching business owners who are more hands-on and know how to maybe deal with the customer, maybe know more how to do the job, but they don't know how to do the business. And in a business, as we all know, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of things you don't know that you need to know. Right. And then how do you decipher through the rocks, the pebbles, the sand, and figure out what do you need to focus on to be successful? And their whole core value is, at EOS, is really teaching you how to successfully run a business. There's a variety of different systems out there, and that's okay. But it's finding a system that works for you and then implementing that. And the biggest thing I like with EOS is it puts everybody in the room. You have an accountability. So every meeting we're talking about, hey, did you do X, Y, and Z? Did you do X, Y, and Z? These are our goals, and you were assigned X, Y, and Z. And for us to accomplish these goals and your goals, we have to follow through these steps. And that's hard, especially in a small business. It is, because in a small business, what do we all run into? It's holding you accountable because I'm friends with you. We go eat. We go drink beer. Our wives get together. We're going to go hang out at the house and watch some football games. When we show up Monday and we got a conflict, sometimes people just walk away from it and just let it simmer and sitting down and go, hey, that was personal, Dylan. We need to have a business conversation.
I'm that way.
Yeah.
Because I can butt heads with somebody and then 5 minutes later, let's go have a beer and hang out. Things are business, things are not. And sometimes in the moment, you might get mad about something. I might get mad about something. I mean, I don't like you.
Yeah.
Just fucking shit happens.
Yeah. Exactly. And again, it's business. It's just, but if you have accountability, you have meetings, you keep everybody in the loop, you don't run into very many of those situations from that standpoint. And then
But
again,
also what you have in your system is like, if something that was set for someone to do, and then there was thought that was going to be like a small issue.
Yep.
What
would be called a to-do.
A small item,
Yep.
right? And then also it becomes well, actually, it's not as small as we thought. That's why I couldn't do it. Then you move that to a bigger
ideas.
process.
So it's almost like a pipeline for a to-do thing that can move. And
Yeah, because it changes from like being like a normal small item, like a fast accomplishment item,
To
a
a longer
accomplishment item.
Yep.
And then so they talk about it. And
vice versa. There might be
beautiful.
something that you thought were going to be slightly longer than someone's like, oh, I could do that. And
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't have time today. And then someone else could do something on a to-do list. That it just,
So when you look at the to-do list, like with their meeting, which is called basically the scorecard in their meeting, is they have a system in place. And so you go through and you check all your scorecards. These are, hey, how many leads came in? How many vendors did we pick up? How many networking events did we go to? How many one-on-ones did we do? So it just gives you a lot of opportunities. And what I really like is it's also got a lot of good news mixed in, because you start the meeting with everybody in the room has to give one piece of good business news and one piece of good personal news.
So positivity.
So now you get to learn what other people are doing and more about their family if you're new to a company. So you get to hear about a family and what they did in business. So you start the meeting off with success right out of the gate. And something that was funny is when I first took the meeting, the guy told me, who runs a lot of these, the first people you'll fire after you implement EOS will be people when you sit at that table for every meeting once a week, and everyone who sits at that table knows the first two questions that are going to be asked.
And they don't
Every
have an
day they
answer.
show up and they don't have an answer.
They don't have an answer.
Out of 38 people I had in a room, the first two people I ended up firing were those two people that could not consistently give a good piece of good news. And it was, I laughed at him at
You
first.
just make it up, dude.
Yeah.
Just
I mean,
make some
just come
bullshit
up with something. I'm driving to work going, okay, what are my two pieces
not
of good
that
news? I
hard,
already
right?
got it.
I was on my way to work
bring-
today, and I didn't hit a single red light,
Yeah.
and that makes me feel like it's gonna be a great work week. That's my good news for today.
Yeah, 100%. It can
And
be
nobody
small
gives
or
a
big.
no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Just that you have something.
Yep.
And contribute.
Create a
That's
culture.
the idea behind it.
Yeah.
I was just writing down here the importance of create a strong culture, because it creates an orbit. So it creates an orbit, and it's so hard for the other bodies to not be in the orbit. But because you see consistently everyone following the process.
Yeah.
Like when you look at that, like you're pulled by this orbit to keep doing the right things. You know.
Yeah.
So that's the importance of creating this
Everybody
strong
has to be on
culture.
the same page, and then somebody's on another page, and then they're not going to fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when
don't
I do
fit
my
the-
interview, when I have like a new rep, we have one coming in on Monday. So we run all of our level 10 meetings. I run like 5 of them a week. So each department has their own level 10. So we have time throughout Monday and Tuesday. Most of them are done on Monday. What I started doing many years ago is I bring in a new rep to a meeting. Because if it's someone who fits our core values, means they want structure, they want integrity in meetings, and they want accountability. And I've had people who have walked out of the meeting and go, I'm 40 years old, and I've never seen a meeting structured or run like that. So it really gives them a first impression that if that's what they're looking for, and that's what I want, is I want that wow factor. Okay, I'm not, because we all go to meetings that suck, nothing gets done, we all sit around and shoot the bullshit, we're here for an hour and a half, and then we didn't get anything tangible done that's helping the business grow and be successful.
Feels like talking for the sake of talking about the same shit we talk about.
Yeah.
And
It's
what's
like
the
going
action?
to the bar. We might as well been at the bar having drinks, watching football.
I like actionable items. That's a lot of what we talk about during our meetings
Yep.
too. Is like, let's follow up on old things and what are things that we can act on
Yep.
to work towards goals that we have.
Yep.
So
go ahead.
sorry.
No,
No,
you're good.
because I was going to say in my team we have a daily Scrum call. It's only 30 minutes of a connect between my team in the Philippines and India, but we have a daily action tracker.
Yep.
And it basically is just, hey, not only am I assigning action items for them to do, but then they, as the workday goes around, they have action items where other little, I guess, side quests at this point, like someone else
Whatever
that
it is.
gives it to them, and they put in the tracker, and then we follow up on it every day.
Yeah.
And then we go through in that 30-minute meeting of like, okay, we still have action items from like 2 weeks ago. What is the holdup? What is holding us
Let me ask you a question.
from doing this?
If you did not have that call for 30 minutes every single day, let's say you did it once a week, what would be the outcome of that?
It would be a lot more pressure on me and my boss, honestly, because
You're putting trust into giving people more time to do the things they say they're going to do without following up on a daily basis.
exactly, because there's it's one of those things where
People need structure to thrive.
well, and even though this is a bigger company, we're a small specialized team that works that what we do is just a small group. The thing is, my boss and I are the face of that team, so everything comes to us.
Okay.
So it's always it's constantly like, hey, I need you to do this. I delegate it to my team. I get inundated with at least 100+ items at any given day, and it is impossible for me to constantly have that reminder if I do not put it in that tracker and then follow up with it with my team. So that action tracker that I have is a vital
Crucial.
life
It's vital,
source
It's
of our
everything.
team's success. Exactly. And we did it before where we didn't have the daily meetings, and there were multiple times where we didn't do something and it was like a week late, and someone's like, hey, I sent you an email, I sent you a request last week, what is going on with it? And we're like, shit, we forgot about this, and then it was like, okay, lessons learned, let's improve the process, and this is what we're doing. 30-minute connect, going over every action item.
That applies to lots of different businesses, and being candid, that we're guilty of the same thing. Maybe I need to get certain things done, and then life happens, work happens, and then you don't do it, and we don't follow up on it if we don't on a consistent enough basis. Like the next time you talk about it, it's been 2 weeks. You don't really want to let things sit for 2 weeks,
Right.
No one has the intention of letting it drop that far. That's why it's called falling through the cracks. So all these systems are in place to help things from falling through the cracks and keep you accountable for them. Not to be an asshole, not because we don't trust that you can't do it. It's just everybody's guilty of it. It's a lot of things that can happen. No one has the intention of ignoring a customer. No one wants to piss them off. Nobody wants them to call it. You want to be proactive, but you get busy with stuff.
Get
That
busy
can't
or
be
you
the
get
right
sidetracked.
or sidetracked, and that can't be the end all be all. You have to have systems in place to get you back to where, and if that's like a daily thing that you're checking, where it's like, these are the things that are carried over from yesterday, so it's the top of my to-do list today, while other things keep, and level 1 through 3 through 5 on things of importance, but there's just always that, like, the more you follow up with people, the better, even though they kind of feel like you're micromanaging them.
And then and that's why you
don't have to.
That's why you set up systems. That's why it's not a phone call.
Exactly.
Hey, David, what are you doing today? Hey, Mark, how's everything? It's where you have a meeting and everybody's getting held accountable at the same level from that standpoint. And then when you see them hold everybody accountable, it makes everybody in the room feel better, but it also helps you narrow down the field of those people you really want in the room. And let's be honest, for them to be successful, our job now that I don't want to have to sell, my job is to provide that structure so those people can meet those sales goals that they want to meet. And without structure and without accountability, none of us are going to get to those goals.
I say it all the time. If it's just a couple of guys doing something, structure, I guess, doesn't really matter. If you want to grow and scale and bring people on, it's the most important thing you have. Because you're relying on them to do what you want them to do.
And then you have that process that you identify, some like major problems, and then you have a group discussion because that's what you do. Hey, let's mastermind on these. So how we solve this, because somebody would have an experience on how to.
The idea is, so it's IDS is what that is, and that's what in an hour-and-a-half meeting, 60 minutes are locked in on IDS. And what I like with the system is everybody who's in the meeting is allowed to add an IDS item: identify, discuss, solve. But how they set it up is, let's say I put an item on there. I'm going to talk about it first, and I'm going to give everybody my 2 cents, and then we're going to go to George. And George has to have the ability to be able to talk freely about what his thoughts are. And then it's going to go to Hilton, then it's going to go to Dylan, then it's going to go to Konrad, and then whoever is the decision maker in the room will make the final decision. But now you've got everybody in the room, even though you may be a peon, but you have just as much as say as everybody else, managers and owner in the room, as far as giving your 2 cents. Now, as an owner, it's my job to figure out of all that info, did I have the smartest answer? Did you have the smartest answer? Whatever that answer is that we need to implement, but it makes everybody feel. And then the other thing is that there's no sidetrack. You go around the room, you sit it down, you dissolve it, you talk about it a little bit more, and then boom, you move on to the next item from that standpoint. And then if you can't solve it, in 10 or 15 minutes. Then you put it into an issues list, and then you set up
more energy,
and then there's more energy, and then you can refocus on that with a smaller group. But you've gotten the input from that team, and then maybe it's to a point where now owners need to make what that final decision is from that standpoint.
Do you sell this system?
I do not, but the guy that we took, who is Damon Neath is his name, $8,000 per quarter is how much that EOS costs. Now, it ranges depending on who the instructor is. I've heard anywhere from $6,000 to about $8,000 is what it averaged. But we did this at 2 different businesses. We went through the same guy, and this dude was phenomenal. He was an ex-executive, so he was able to pull out information from the group, data. He could help dive into strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that, so really liked it. But literally, you'd pay $8,000. You go in for 8 hours. It's a working lunch. And, dude, he'd have the whole wall with whiteboard. And when you walked out of there, dude, that whole wall was full of stuff. 1-year goals, 3-year goals, 10-year goals. What's it look like? What's the revenue, number of employees?
That's why it's $8,000. You have to be serious.
Yes.
Because you go in and you spend that, you're going to fucking get something out of it.
$30,000 a year, is that right?
36.
36.
Because you
It's
do
like
at the
$3,000
end
a
of the
month,
year.
basically.
Yeah, at the end of the year, you do a double up. Now,
And
I
it
will
all
tell
breaks
you the
down.
best, when you get into year 2, they get tricky on you and they do some very cool stuff. And one of the, and I did it for both companies, is what they did is you would go away from a table like this and you would go sit at a circle with just chairs, no table. And so we do an exercise, good, bad exercise. And it would be, you have to tell everybody in the room what you like about them as far as what they do every day to either help you with their job or what you see them helping the company be successful. Then when you go around the second time is you have to tell them what they do on a daily basis at work that you don't like.
Yep.
And you have to build that trust to be able to hold that accountability and be able to go, you know what, George is going to say something to me that I may not like, but I have to give George the freedom. But then I also have to check myself at the door to make sure, is George right? You know what? I do show up to work 10 minutes late every day, and that's not setting a good example. I'm rushing in, whatever it may be. And I really love that exercise.
We used to do that in my fraternity, and we called it the hot chair.
Yep.
But everybody had a moment where you'd go around, same exact thing.
Yep. But it really, most people think they're scared of it, but it really brings you closer if you can understand the ultimate goal is us as a team of being successful. To win the Super Bowl, we all have to buy in.
It, right? Some people have a really hard time with criticism.
Yes.
And I think criticism is the best thing anybody can give you. But
It's the best form of feedback.
constructive, right? Like no one has to or needs to be an asshole, but how can you ever fix or change anything that you perceive differently than everyone else? If they see it and they have a problem with it and you keep doing it, probably you don't see the problem.
Yeah, I had one, one of the people in there told another person, hey, I love that you come up to me every morning, but I get here at 7. You show up at 7:30, so by the time you get here, I've just gotten locked into emails, some phone calls, getting my schedule lined out, and then you go grab a cup of coffee and you come spend the first 10 minutes talking to me, and now it disrupts me, and I've lost my flow because I got here 30 minutes ago. I've already got my cup of coffee. I'm already locked into work and everything.
There's something about that too. Like when you get into the workflow, there's studies about it. You can get done probably 8 hours worth of work done in like 2 hours when you are in a workflow, because our brain is not designed to multitask.
No.
So you get into something and you start doing it. Every disruption takes you almost 20 minutes to get back into the workflow. There's studies that they've done. I don't have the study to pull up, but it takes so much longer to get back into the workflow than it does to get pulled out, which is everything in life.
So
it takes a long time to lose weight versus
I do a Bible study when I get up in the morning with a cup of coffee, dude, and then I go to my computer for 2 hours because I get more work done in that 2 hours than I will the rest of the day.
100%,
because no one's responding to
peaceful.
emails, phone's not ringing, the family's still asleep,
Yep.
and dude, I can just grind, and then before my wife gets out of bed, I'm
I
done.
can get behind that.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Now back to the meeting, which is called a level 10, and they call it a level 10 because when you're done with the meeting, you go around the room and everybody gets to grade the meeting. Because at the ultimate goal, whoever's leading the meeting, they need to know that what they're presenting and how they're presenting it, they're doing a good job. It's why I spend on each one of those meetings, I spend probably 15 to 20 minutes to prep that level 10. Some of them, it may be 30 minutes. to make sure I have all the IDS items, all the to-dos are lined out.
Because it matters.
It does, because I want to show up in a meeting and I don't want to be like, oh, I'm not prepared, because then when I go hold you accountable, go, hey, why aren't you prepared for that meeting? Well, I kind of learned it from you.
You don't show up with no,
yeah,
exactly.
You don't show up prepared. So
How
why
you
should I
do
show up? You're the
anything
owner.
is how you do everything.
Yep. Now, I will say one thing when it comes to the meeting, there's an archive. So when you have your to-dos, on average with our company, we have 10 to 15 to-dos every meeting. So you go through those, and then when they're done, you archive them. What I like doing is at the end of the year, you go through and go, wow, we just did 675 to-dos this year. And then you go to the IDS section, and it's like, dude, we did like 250 IDS sections. And then you think of that going, that was phenomenal as far as helping our business, how many things that we got from the to-dos being small to the IDS being big ticket items. The company's moving in the right direction, because there's a lot of times in companies, small businesses, those things don't get done. It's just, we got money in the bank account, we're good.
You're allowing people to be part of the collective.
Yes.
And giving them a voice.
Yep.
And letting their ideas, not that maybe you're going to act on the idea, but the idea is heard.
Yeah.
People
Yeah.
appreciate that, because at the end of the day, it is business, and we're working with businesses and companies, but you're working with the people. The people want to come back to Jeff Vaughn is because they've really liked the interaction they had with you and your team. The work's going to be there. The work has to be there. But there's a lot of people in this city, in this country, everywhere where the work will be there. You have to have that extra level, which brings people back for you, because people do business with people.
Yep. 100%.
Having
So it's
said all
been
that-
beneficial.
Criticism.
No, having said all that, so
Cigar.
we also do cigar reviews. So we're gonna stop a little bit to do a cigar review, and then we'll come back to this conversation. You can find us on if it is on YouTube, the same channel. If it is on all the platforms, just search for Puff Drink Talk Cigar Review. We're gonna have that on. We don't have them on yet, but very soon we have that. This week is gonna be on. So is that a subject that we want to dive in other than business? Because
Business is fun, man.
if you let Jeff talk, he's just gonna talk for
That's why I
5
said,
hours.
man, y'all, whatever, man. I'm open.
I don't want to gear it
I'm
too
just
much.
good to be back.
I don't want to gear it too much, but what do you think is the future of the swimming pool shapes? Because there are so many new materials, 3D printers getting crazy into there. Where do you see, like, maybe not in our lifetime, but maybe in 50 years or something, where do you see it happening? Because it could be any shape in the future, it could be anywhere, like we'd be able to do so many things. Have you ever put some thought on that?
A little bit. I mean, the hard part is again, most pools that are underground, you've got to dig the hole, you've got to put rebar and stuff, so it's going to get hard to get the machine, the 3D printer, like on the house, it has to be on flat ground and stuff to be able to do it. But I can see there's some things changing. The concrete cancer basically really shut down the pool companies or shut down pools all together in Central Texas, which is basically an aggregate that was an ash aggregate that was either added, not added. I don't have all the details from that standpoint, but it really shut a lot of the things down. So I know that's going to start elevating people's thoughts of, hey, how can we make sure that doesn't happen again, and be creative with it. 100%. But it's I mean, if you've got the right people, it's impressive. Whether stuff that I built, the previous company that I worked for, it's pretty impressive with some of the things that you can build as long as you have the plans and you can go off the specs. But I'm interested to see what the future is going to look like with what they're going to be able to do with the pools. And how they're going to be able to design them. But a lot of people are getting away from concrete pools, to be honest, and going more to fiberglass because you can pull that out, get rid of it, fill that hole in, and it's a lot easier than having a bunch of concrete and rebar in your backyard.
But that is also a budget option, right?
Yes, 100%. And I tell people, if you can't build a swimming pool the right way, then go with something like that, or build a smaller swimming pool, because people always think they want this big giant. And you realize 365 days a year, you're in it 20, 30, 40 days, and the rest of the time you got to maintain it. And if you got the money to hire us to come out there 7 days a week and clean your swimming
like a
pool,
hot tub.
It is.
You use for like 2 months out of the year, and that's it.
Yes. And they're expensive to keep up, the cleaning and everything.
What happened with that? I see it all the time on Facebook, the concrete cancer stuff that everybody's
So
talking
there's a
about.
variety of
That's
different
exactly it.
Is that what you were
stories
talking
out there.
about? Sorry.
Yes. Yeah. No, it is.
Sorry, guys.
So it was supposedly there was a rock quarry here in town that they provide like an ash material. And again, I don't know all the details and I may be missing some of it, but it was a material, whether they added it or didn't add it, and it was an inferior product. But when you add this product ash in, it's supposed to allow the concrete to harden and maintain its structure, and it did the complete opposite, like dipping a cracker into water. And from my understanding, from what I read, there were several thousand pools in Central Texas affected, and there's well over 2,000 lawsuits. In Central Texas, because you got some people that have $300,000-$400,000 swimming pools built
Does
that
that
held water
become
for
one
a day or two, and then they walked outside and
giant
there's
class action?
oh yeah, big time, and they don't really know who to fault. But the problem is, what attorney's going to do? Sue everyone who touched your pool. So the plaster guy, the guy who dug the hole, the concrete guy, the
that's
biggest
fucked.
concrete guys, put them out of business, put a lot of pool companies out of business. I mean, it was, and again, it's kind of hard because there was really, from my understanding, no way to really test whether that aggregate was good, bad, inferior.
So does this change processes going forward, or there's still really no way to test it?
There may be, but I
Sorry.
don't know about the internal.
No.
Yeah, there may be, because you can test concrete. Like if I go pour a concrete job that we're getting ready to do around an apartment complex, we're doing the sidewalk. Well, the city's going to require that we do for every concrete truck, we have to meet a certain PSI on there before we can pour that. In pools, nobody tests it because you never had to. Hey, that model has worked for 100 years. Why do we need to test or change anything? Well, all of a sudden, something happened, and now all of a sudden, they're going to probably come up with some type of testing standards for that, from that standpoint, which is why I like having an engineer design all our swimming pools.
Very similar to when
Dropping shit in the ocean.
No. When we go, no, not that. That's a good. That's a good
He's got a
theory.
good analogy for it too. Nah, that wasn't out of nowhere.
into space.
He's got a really good point on that. But
That's
continue.
a theory, but it's like when we go to install floors on people's houses, our installers, they all have moisture
Meters.
Yep. And they test the concrete before they do any prep work on the concrete to see if there is moisture coming through or whatnot.
And
So-
part of that is like, you'd always love to say is because we care more for our customers, which we do. The guys started doing it because they don't want to come back.
Yeah.
So it benefits them.
It's not something
it
that I
benefits
even
everybody.
we don't even need to ask. They just have it and they do it, and then they call, "Hey, we have a moisture problem in here," or
Talk to
they
your
go
customer,
like,
yeah.
"It's all good, we're good to go." Sometimes
Every
they don't
job.
even say anything. It's every single job. They have the meter, they test, and then they do it.
SOP.
I think last year we got like 2. It's like, "Hey, Hilton, it's too humid, can't do anything right now. I'm gonna wait and see because I think there was a little water leak, and there is a crack on the concrete. Let's see what's gonna behave tomorrow." And then we talk to the customer. Tomorrow we get there, it's completely dry. The water just trapped, now evaporated. It's all good. We're good to go. Let's do it.
Nobody likes to hear that a job's getting delayed, but nobody wants to have a problem 3 months down the road either.
Delayed for the right reason. Good.
It has to be delayed for the right. When it's for the right reason, you have to delay it. You can't cut corners.
Yeah.
With
It gets
construction.
people in trouble. Yep, 100%.
So people go out of their way to find installers on Craigslist from a friend, and then a lot of times it does work out. You hear about a lot of the times I use this guy and it was great. It's the worst case scenario that you don't want to. It's a risk.
Yep.
That's like playing the lottery.
Yep.
So it could work out for you. I don't sell to people based off saying if you use someone else, it's not going to work out and you're going to hire me. I'm not that type of guy. But it happens more often than not that people say they can do something, they can't do it, they don't deliver, you have no one to call, you have no store to go to, they won't answer the phone, and you're just kind of screwed over.
Yep. I had a guy, I did a bid for a pool, and this was at a previous company over 10 years ago, and we were $30,000 or $40,000 out of his budget, and I told him, no one who is good at what they do can build what you want for that budget. So just be very...
You were like going to be cheaper than anybody, even though you were 30 over his budget.
Yes.
I was just about to say that. I think we, as small business owners, I think we have to communicate more the importance of this, which you guys are just saying. Because if you don't educate the customer, he doesn't price these revisits. He doesn't price the add-ons.
You have to do
it's
a
an art,
really good job. Exactly, it's an art.
It's
because
an art.
you have to do a great job of educating versus dictating. Because you can't tell them what they have to do.
No.
Because now it sounds like you're not coming from a good place.
No.
And if I'm selling you, same with like religion, telling you about fear, if you don't do this, you're going to go to hell. Like, that's not the great way to sell religion. If you don't use me, you're going to have problems. You don't want to sell people based off fear. But you want to educate things on why it's important, and then it's up to you to decide if that's important to you or not. And no hard feelings. But at the end of the day, there are certain things in life you don't really want to cheap out on. I think your roof would be one of them.
Yep.
Your floors should be one of them.
Yep.
General things you don't want
anything in your house. Anything in your house or anything, especially if you're building a swimming pool.
You buy cheap, you buy again.
Yeah.
And again.
So
and again.
I read, and I think I said this at a BXN meeting. It's been several months, and I may get some of the numbers mixed up. So Harvard did a study on remodels, and out of $300 billion that was spent in some type of construction remodel jobs last year or 2 years ago, there was 70% of those people who went with the lower or cheaper bid to try to get it into their budget. Out of that 70%, 80% of those people had to hire someone to come back and fix that problem.
I have an example right now.
Spend a dollar, saving a dime.
So shout out to Mateus with MG Solutions. This Monday, January the 12th, 2026. I'm giving a date in here. But, the episode goes live on Friday. It happened on a Monday. So he said, this guy bought a house. He's doing a flip on the house, and he looking kind of high end home because he's looking for a wood floor. And he already spent money. He was doing like some paint work, and the painter ran out with some of the money and disappeared. So, and then the flooring guy, he got the flooring on a store that does not do turnkey, it only sells materials. And then so he found someone to install the floor for him. So the guy came, did the prep, got the glue in there, like picked up the glue that he bought, put it in there. And then the guy asked for a $3,000 advance payment. It's like, okay, so this is a $7,000 labor because it's a big house. $3,000 is kind of, 50% down. Yeah, okay, so he gives the money to the guy disappears. And this is not a $7,000 job. Yep. This is a $10,000 job, to be honest with you. So he calls me, Hilton, can you get this floor? Yes. Okay, and I'm going to do that install for this guy. People already ran, with his money twice. And I'm going to get it done, for him so that no people run away with his money. He just does not know how to hire people. And then he found me through a referral. And so that's the kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like I'm selling them the material, but he does the work because, he's a general contractor and does the work himself. And then that's what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's like people will spend more money by trying to go cheap. And sometimes not because they're trying to go cheap. They're just trying to save money, maybe profit a little bit more on that flip that they're doing on the property. But people take advantage of that,
Well,
so it just happened. It just happened.
On that pool I was talking about, 6 months later, the guy calls me back. I go out there. It was a $200,000 pool that he got someone to bid for like $150,000. They took $75,000 of his money, and they did about $30,000 worth of work, and then that guy's never been seen again. And the work was so bad, we were going to have to demo when he called me back out to fix it. I couldn't even build off of what the guy had done. I told him, I'm going to charge you now $200,000 for the pool, but I've got to charge you $25,000 to $30,000 to demo that piece of shit.
Yeah.
So it's even more money.
Yeah. So you lost 75. Now you're going to lose another 25. We ain't even started building the pool that you want, and you're already $100,000 in the hole.
So your pool from 250 went to 350.
Yeah.
And you're not getting a 350 pool.
No. Yeah. And so what I've learned is when I get into some of these, and I'm with you, I try not to scare them. What I try to do is, okay, if I feel like I'm not going to get this, I become an educator and say, you know what, remove me. Here may be one or two people that you can try to call that I know that are good in the industry, and you can see what their bid may be like. Even though I know what their bid's going to be, it's going to be very close to mine. So I try to make them feel comfortable that I'm going to recommend them some other options. So if they do go and they like, well, these guys are the same price as Jeff, or we're in that same range. And whether they go with me or not, at least I feel comfortable they went with a trusted contractor where I'm not getting that phone call back to go back and go, okay, you screwed this up. Now we got to do X, Y, and Z. So I've gotten jobs off of that where people have called me back and go, Jeff, I've researched it and you were right. I don't trust some of these people. And I'm not going to do the job. I've even told some people, if you can't find someone to do it for this much, whether it's me or someone else, then don't do it.
Don't
Wait
do it.
another
Yeah.
year, save the money
Save the money
that you need so that you can hire an honest contractor, because honest contractors aren't cheap. They do, you know.
It happens with us, and
Yeah.
we give people estimates sometimes, and it takes a year for them to come back because they do understand the process.
Yeah.
And then they go like, okay, now I'm ready. How does it look now?
Yeah.
You know, is there like a closeout sale on some flooring that I can
Yep.
maybe save and do for that money or a little less? How is it looking? But then it's like 1 year later, it's like, no, it's still kind of the same. You know, it's
Yeah.
still like that. But people wait and save money to go and do the work because the budget wasn't realistic at the time.
Yeah. And most people don't know what they don't know, and I'm okay with that. I walked into one the other day that a guy's thinking it's 100, 125. When I seen the bid, I said, this is a $200,000 to a $250,000 job. And he's like, what? And I said, well, that wall you want to move in your living room has electrical, has plumbing, and has HVAC in it. And oh, by the way, it holds up half of your house. So that's a load-bearing wall. And so now I've got to have an engineer come in here and figure out how I'm going to put a piece of red iron all the way across your living room ceiling, because now I've got to support the other half of your roof because you want to take that wall down. He's like, oh. And I said, and then you want to take that closet and you want to turn that into your HVAC area for your washer and dryer and your indoor HVAC and your hot water heater. Well, I've got to now move all those electrical stuff halfway across your house. How am I supposed to do that? I'll run it through your ceiling, run it through your walls, run it under your floor. Yeah. And so once I walked
And now
away
you
from
have
that,
to replace the floor, and you have to open holes in the
Yeah.
ceiling.
Problem is, you're asking people questions no one's ever talked to them about too. So people
No.
just have a preconceived notion that some things are easy,
yeah,
and they're not easy.
There is
not.
also another point that we have to make it very clear. The customer tends to anchor the price to what they hear, what for impressions they have, for prices they
It's just
tuck it
preconceived.
into their minds from 2021. Like we do that. Like there are lots of studies about that. You fix that. Okay, the last time I heard about that, it was, let's say, the mortgage was 3%. So when
Yeah.
you say 6%, the person freaks out. But hey, things are dynamic.
Yeah.
So how do we navigate through that? How do I identify the type of client? And then it goes again to the pole, the orbit that I was saying. Once you get into that, you see when all the bodies are going into the right orbit, and then we see something out, it's your job to see that and see exactly why this is happening. There's something different happening, and your customers are also part of this poll.
yes.
Yep. So
Yep.
I think the anchorage is very important to understand that people will do that, will come with the wrong impression.
Yep.
They won't realize that there are crises, there are different things happening, different structure. You grew, and
Yeah.
in order you can't work with a product that is as cheap as
Yeah.
it was 3 years ago.
Well, when you get into a remodel too, I don't know what's behind that wall. I know what should be behind that wall, but I don't know what that
Exactly.
GC who built that 30 years ago when there was no code in Round Rock. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've opened up a wall and I went, oh shit, that's not supposed to be there.
And it's your fault.
Yeah.
Everything happens
Yeah.
during the process, and
Yeah.
then you got to observe that cost.
With a commercial job, that concrete job that we did when we put the bid together, we told them the only way we would do it is they had to add an extra 20% to the estimate as emergency fund, because when I tear that up, I don't know if there's a void under there. And since this is a commercial job, that means I've got to go through 6 owners. I've got to go through corporate. And that means when I need an extra load of backfill, I need an extra dump truck. I need an extra truck of concrete, because we ripped that concrete out and we didn't realize there's an 8-foot sinkhole in there. And all of a sudden I've got concrete truck spinning. So we told them, look, I'm going to call you and tell you, hey, we're tapping into that fund, but there's a chance we may not. But I can't sit here and wait for a week while y'all get things approved. So we actually put kind of a normal 10 to 20%, depending on the size of the job, in there that's approved, that is kind of an emergency fund, especially when you're dealing with corporate, because there's so many people you've got to go through. It's an $8 million facility.
The preconceived notion that something is going to cost something, and then when they go and get a quote, it costs so much more. It's incredible, because there's a lot of shows on the.
I was just about to say that.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of shows.
It's our best friend, HGTV.
Yeah, there's a lot of shows on TV, that they go like, oh, flooring. For example, I was watching a show a year and a half ago on a Mohawk floor, and the show was like.
We redid the whole first floor for $5,000.
Well, yes, but then
What?
that might have been true, but and then when you try to investigate,
Cost.
the video was recorded 7 years prior it went live.
Yeah.
Because people do videos and stuff, and then they don't go live
Yeah.
because they have to approve. And, well, that was a pilot and whatever. And then so, that video actually could make a good view, right?
Yes.
So, and there was like a 7-year-old video recording kind of thing, and then showing a flooring that he put the price on the flooring, saying like, this is a $3 floor, and then the labor, blah blah blah, whatever. And then I was like, I'm looking at my price list because I did.
Yep.
It does not cost now just the materials. So a $5 floor is a $13 project
Yeah.
square foot,
Yep.
because you have to tear something that is there.
Yep.
You have to clean it up.
Yep.
You have to dump it. You have to install the new one. You have the labor, have all the glue, the setting materials, and whatever.
Guess what? None of those
All-
things are free.
Yeah,
Nope.
and those things do cost money. So
They do.
Yep. They don't understand all that. It's a cost of doing business.
That's the education part, though, because a lot of people don't understand it, and you educate them on it. Like, this is what it's going to cost.
Yeah.
And you know what? There is also the customer trauma.
People have bad
they've
experiences.
they've had really bad experiences, and then you see some jobs are more complex than others, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So, for example, if I serve coffee to people, right? So you drink them like wine too. And there are like $10 bottles and $1,000 bottles, right? So when we have that, like, how do you explain to the person that bottle is worth it $1,000?
Yeah.
So
I think half as much as you teach, you ask questions.
yeah.
Because
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
over
yeah.
here for a reason. Like, so what was your experience, and what were you trying to get done, and what was your budget? And you're gonna start. The canvas is blank when you arrive. The picture starts filling itself out, and you go, okay, well, not to make anyone feel, but that type of job really should no less than $10,000. You paid someone $5,000, you're gonna get somebody that's doing. Maybe you get a good deal and you get lucky. Most of the time, people don't do what they say they're going to do when it's half of what it's supposed to cost.
Well, as Harvard said, 80% of those people went with the cheapest bid, had to hire somebody else to come back.
And
So
that's
if you
our-
just go, and last time I checked, those people are pretty smart.
We had a referral from someone that works on like a big commercial building. It's a bunch of office spaces. And I forget how many are in there, 25, 30, like individual.
27 offices.
27 offices and the common space and everything. And they had an idea of what they wanted to do. And they called 4 different flooring contractors out there to give them a bid. All 4 before we got there told them reasons why they couldn't do it and never even gave them a bid.
Yeah.
So when we got there, it was almost like customer was concerned we wouldn't be able to do the job because so many people had already told them that it wasn't easy. And I looked at it, and Hilton and I almost started laughing like, this is no big deal.
Yeah.
And they looked at us like, well, are you sure? Because I've had like, I'm sure. It's like, I'm going to give you a price. You shop around more if you want to, and I
He
can show you
wanted
pictures.
to write a check that day.
Well, because we were
us.
talking to his employee. We were
When they
talking
see
to,
value.
and she was a decision maker, but she was an employee, and the stuff that
She
we
ended
were
up
saying-
calling the owner. So no,
she
you
called
gotta
the
talk
owner,
to this guy.
and we go and talk to the owner, and he straight up goes, "Can I write you a check right now? Because I've had all these people say all these things, and blah, blah, and you came highly referred, and blah. If you can do it, I'll write you a check right now. I promise you I can do it, and I can show you pictures of examples of that's not hard. I'm kind of surprised people told you that they couldn't do that.
Yeah.
Do you know the reasons why other
Got
people
the
couldn't
business
do it?
because it's not normal.
Yeah, he was.
And they didn't want to. And so it's easy to say it's hard and I can't. You can. You can also charge more for it. It's not, no one wanted it for free, but it's just, I want to do it in this pattern and this design, and I want to add this extra border, and I want to do this stuff
The
that
baseboard has to be carpet also, and so you have to bind the carpet on.
Right.
So they did not have a
a
binding
lot of people
machine.
don't have
And
access
we
to
do have
binders.
that,
I
yeah.
do. So not because I'm special. I am special, but that's not the reason. I know people.
Yeah.
And
It's one of the reasons, maybe.
it maybe helps. But we all get by because we know people.
The other thing is nobody wanted to move all the furniture and assemble like the what was the word?
disassemble and reassemble. So there's extra
Dismantle
stuff
and
to this
reassemble.
job that
They
I
wanted
think-
one person to do everything, so we kind of GC'd kind of everything. So we put like 5 people there.
I didn't. We personally, in our installers, didn't do every aspect of it, but I brought people in and got them paid out, and so, which is what anybody would do.
Yeah.
And we explained that to the customer. Maybe people said they couldn't do it because personally, I don't normally do this.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I can't get it done for you.
Yeah.
And so here's the numbers, and they go, "That sounds great." At the end of the day, we want to write you a check, and we want to work with you. I don't want to work with 7 different people. And that's fair. That's fine.
Yeah.
Normally, I don't do that. If it's a big commercial project, everything is circumstantial context, but in that job, it made sense, and there's no reason this can't get done for you.
Yeah.
There was another
And we
commercial.
were heroes.
There was another commercial project that they normally hold up 10%.
Yeah.
You know that, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
once we finished, he goes like, "Hilton, I pay you 100% because you are the only one that kept in schedule. We had change orders. You did not charge me any change orders or anything because you just accommodated them.
Yep.
And so I'm paying you everything, so you don't have to wait
Which
up
we're happy to
6
do.
months.
I bend over backwards for those type of people because they give us great business, and I'm happy to do it. And that was a big commercial project for a big building right out, like before you get into San Antonio and Selma.
Yep.
A huge commercial building. We did
Nice.
all of it, and I'm happy to do whatever they have coming our way, and I don't need to nickel and dime for a little trip. I don't care about that shit.
Yeah.
I like the relationship.
Yep.
And it feels like we made a good one.
He even like fired the project manager.
Yeah,
The
he did.
superintendent is like, "No, you're telling that Hilton did this way, but look at this. This is so much better than anything else."
Yeah.
So he fired the project manager, hired another one.
It's never happened
to
before.
finish the job
For me, at
because we kept the schedule, we kept everything.
Amazing how that works, isn't it? Organized
got
and structured.
I've
Organized
never
and structured.
had that happen before, but yeah.
Yeah.
He tried to
Closer.
like call us out on stuff, and we had our whole like a chronological list of all the stuff that we'd done the way we'd done it, and that guy ended up getting fired.
Yeah.
Like, that's not what I wanted. He was a cool guy, but he
was
just
really
wasn't
cool, yeah.
doing his job.
Yep.
But you did a favor to him.
I did a favor to the guy that we want more business with
Yeah,
because that
exactly.
guy wasn't doing his job.
This is where value is, right? This is where value is.
Do you have the right person in the right seat?
Yeah.
He may have been a great employee, but he was in the wrong seat.
Yeah.
He needed to be in a different
Absolutely.
seat.
Yeah.
That's where management needs to realize that and goes, "Hey, this is not you, but we put you over here, and you're going to flourish from that standpoint." Back to EOS, that's what they have. You know, do they get it? Are they capable of doing it? And do they want it? And grade them on those 3 things.
You
But
can't
again,
use a hammer like a wrench.
yeah,
The right
And some people,
resource.
you
exactly.
can
The right
can
resource, the
use
right
a wrench
place.
like a hammer if you have to in a pinch.
yes,
Try and use a hammer like a wrench.
yeah.
Some people can do some things really well, and then they can also do a couple other things pretty well. That's a wrench being a hammer.
Yep.
You got a hammer, cannot be a wrench. So, and you got to learn about people, and everybody has a purpose and a
it's
place.
funny you
It's a
say
weird
that.
analogy, but it's a real thing.
I saw reels of precision. Do you know when you have like those metals that they kind of put it together and then you see no seam at all?
Yes.
Like a precision cut.
CNC
Kinda,
and just melts into each other.
So there was a reel on that as like a guy putting like 4 pieces together, like he's slotting it in, but it wasn't that precise. The guy was using a pachymeter to hammer the
pop it.
metal in.
Okay.
So exactly
It's the
like
same
that. It's
thing.
like it's not a hammer, it's a pachymeter. It's to measure the dimensions of things. It's
He's
very
hammering
it's very
it.
sensitive. It's a pachymeter.
And
Yeah,
that's
you know,
why we
you
get
can't bend that,
specialized.
you know?
That's why we get specialized, right? So,
That's why
so
some things
funny.
that are super niche, specialized, cost a lot of money because of that.
Many tools can be used, can be several functions, right? But am I optimizing that machine? Just like am I optimizing the
Think about
employee?
that
Is
as a
that in the
person,
right
exactly.
place?
Yep.
You see, the person, look at that. The person has the culture. The person, it's aligned with your goals. It's just that it's not cut for that kind of job, or maybe it's not cut for that kind of job at that time.
Yes, 100%.
But we as a manager, we need to know that.
Yeah. Did I not train him? Is he not work? Because again, being a GC or superintendent on a job,
It all comes down to me.
And you've got to understand your subs. You got to understand organization. You got to understand structure. When I was at the previous pool company, we did. I told y'all we did some large commercial jobs with the Tyndale downtown. We were on the 2nd or 3rd floor building that thing. Dude, there were 250 employees on this job site every day. So the superintendent for White Construction, when he showed up, you've got 8, 9, 10 different trades on here, from AC to electrical to plumbing to HVAC to the pool guys, to the concrete guys, to the water feature guy. I mean, just crazy. So it's very
a lot of people to
difficult.
manage.
It is 100%. And if you don't have the back office support, and then there's no structure in a system, so to speak,
Sink
then
or swim.
you're set up to fail.
And
You're good until you have one big problem and that tanks you.
Yeah.
If you have no problems, you're golden.
Oh yeah.
It's
And-
construction. You're gonna have problems.
And I'm going to insist in the orbit,
Yeah.
because when you have the system working and you see that everybody kind of know what works, what doesn't work in the system, right?
Yep.
So it's a more fertile, because you can see things. Okay, this is extremely good in the system. This is improving the system.
Yes.
You can see like colors when it's well done. So when you manage well, you are able to, let's say one of these partners
Yep.
is exceptional.
Yep.
I mean, you can even expand your business towards that, because you know the potential of that person that can
Yep.
bring you millions.
Yep. Put the people in the right seat.
You know, you can even maybe
Easier said than done sometimes.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But that's why, for us personally, like hiring Maria, it's like sometimes like, are we just that smart, or did we get lucky? Sometimes you do. Sometimes I heard this long time ago from a buddy, my fraternity brother. I went to college with him, and he saw it on a YouTube video or something. And I don't remember who it was, but it was like Cohen, one of those like billionaire type guys that you see on YouTube all the time. But he says he lives on the motto, truly, not as a joke, seriously. You hire fast and you fire faster, because you have to go through people to figure out who they are.
Every single entrepreneur.
Grant something.
Yeah.
One of the big guys.
It's a mantra. It's a
Grant
mantra,
Cardone, I
yeah.
think, said it in one video that
on
my
a book.
buddy heard, and my buddy, I'm sure it's a million places, but I heard it from my buddy who saw it from there, and he was telling me about it. So that makes a lot of sense.
Aristotle.
Because realistically, you can.
Plato.
I'm a single guy, I'm a bachelor, and I'm gonna hit on that girl I like when I lose 10 pounds. And then you lose the 10 pounds, and you go, well, I'm still not strong enough. You come up with all these fucking reasons. There's no better day than today.
Yeah.
And go fucking seize the moment.
Yeah.
And so I can keep waiting and waiting and waiting to hire the perfect person. No, hire somebody. See if it works. Find out a way to make it work. Doesn't work, fire them. Hire another person. You have to go through people are people, and people
Yep.
are flawed. And I'm really good at what I do. I'm also flawed. So you got to find the people and work just same way you sell and work. The people that you employ are people too. So it's everything in life is working the person and finding a way to make it work.
Yep.
You hire them and respectfully fire them sometimes when you have to, and it shouldn't be any hard feelings, but it's the mission that we set on to accomplish is not being accomplished, and I hope you go on and accomplish other missions in life, but this one's not happening.
Yep.
And I'm going to move on to the next one. And it doesn't have to be this big ordeal. A lot of people don't like firing people.
Yeah.
It's not a fun thing.
It's not.
But if you don't set up the expectation, like you're gonna start here and you're gonna
It
make
also depends,
you're gonna make
you
$1
know.
million a month, and you're gonna be happy. No, it's gonna be hard.
But it depends on how big your company is, right? So if you're a smaller company and you can afford to use like a headhunter, they might go like for 4, 5, 6 months.
You were gone. I told them I said, is it that we're so smart, or did
Yeah.
we just get lucky? But I left that part out.
Same thing.
We used a headhunter,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and we waited for a while to find someone that was a really good fit, and also didn't
Headhunter is
know.
doing that work. They're
But
not
we also-
hiring or firing, but we are gonna pay the guy in the end.
Yeah.
You could hire that person, and 2 weeks later find out it's not a good fit, though. It still doesn't mean it's gonna work.
It still may not work.
Let's give the kudos to the right person who helped you. Hire. Can you
Do you want to
say
shout them
that?
out?
Many shout out to
There you
many
go.
I was just gonna say,
Delgadillo.
I knew it.
Emmanuel.
infinite resources.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really good.
Love the
Really,
name.
really
Love
good.
the name. Infinite Resources is amazing.
Or if it's Halloween, it's Hugh Hefner.
yes, and he pulled that off really well.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
That was funny. But no, I mean, it just, like anything, when you're in a business that relies on people, because I can sell you flooring all day long, it's got to be installed well. So the installers, the people doing the work, whether you like it or not, are the backbone of your business.
Yeah.
Any business, the backbone of your business is employees.
Yeah.
You don't have to put up with anything that they do, but you should think of it differently. Like, am I creating a space for them to succeed? Because everything ends up falling back on the owner's shoulders. Unless bad apples will happen, but at the end of the day, it's just a perspective thing. Like, you always got to think about, like, am I doing enough to set the people up around me to succeed? And maybe they're not in the right role.
Yeah.
Maybe I move them to this role. Maybe you've moved them into 5 roles and there's no role that's working out anymore. You got to let them go.
Yeah.
But that's working the person
Yep.
to solve the problem, And that's a bigger deal when you have big company. We're a small company. So I don't have that problem. But you start getting 25, 30 employees, you have to work the people.
Yes.
They have to get along.
Yep.
That's a whole nother. It's high school again. Like there's a diplomacy
Clicks.
with all of that. There is clicks.
There's clicks.
That's how it goes.
Yep.
And there's really no way of avoiding that. Society is that way.
Yep. The way it works.
Man, and also a good reputation of a company, it's also super important. Again, the pull again. Like once people know it's great to work for a company, of course you're going to start attracting better professionals.
Yep.
They'll say, okay, I can't fuck up there. Like they don't even knock at your door because they're going to be fired right away. So it's also important to send this prestige sensation, this reputation to the people who work for you,
Yep. Well, and again, if your employees love where they work and they know you're hiring, they're always going to keep their ear open. They're always going to be looking, and they're going to know themselves because you go over your core values. You go over what your company is about.
And
what
I can say this from personal experience from multiple different jobs. Like if the culture is a good fit and you like the people that you work for and you like what you're doing, you might not even be making the amount of money based off commission and sales that you want to be making, but you want to be there because you are bought into the program.
Yep. Yep. 100%.
So the future is a little brighter, if that case might be, right? So
Yep.
Future's always brighter. It has to be.
theoretically, yes.
Well, it's a mindset.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
the way you go. The future always has to be brighter. But
If it's not, I adjust. I adapt.
change your mindset. That's what it is, dude. It's trying to find a way to find the positivity in life because you will find what you look for. You go out and try and find negativity, you're gonna find it.
Crisis may be opportunity. We might find lots of opportunities in crisis.
There is,
As well.
especially if you weren't the one that caused the crisis, but you're the one who can fix the crisis.
I don't
Yeah,
know
you're a
what talking
superhero in
about.
that case.
Yeah.
That's the
That's everybody's dream position.
the cow.
Bring the
cow
goat.
theory.
Bring the goat.
Yep.
So the goat. Take the goat. They're going out
it's
the room.
It's the goat theory. So you
Yeah.
give someone a goat, and it's like, oh, nice, because now I'm gonna have goat meat.
Yeah.
And then the person doesn't have,
Cabrito, baby.
I'll never
Yeah.
mow my
They
lawn
don't
again.
have where
They're
to
just gonna
put
eat
it.
all the grass.
and then they just put the goat in the living room.
Yeah.
So now when you receive the goat, oh, Hilton's great. He gave me a goat. Mm-hmm. And then 3 months later,
Troy.
man, this goat is like shitting everywhere. He's eating my
couch.
furniture. And then Hilton
The
comes
rings
along
from Lord of
again
the
and goes
Rings.
like, hey, man, what is going on? So, man, this goat is great, but so much, so many problems. I'll deal with the goat for you. Don't worry about it.
we'll take care of it.
And I'm taking it. And then I go, oh, Hilton is great again.
Yeah.
You
solving
bring the
problems
crisis-
that
I
you
don't,
created.
yep. I don't like going into those situations, but I do because you can usually solve that problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you turn someone's negativity into a positivity, like you said, and now you're golden in that person's eyes. So they're pushing referrals, talking about you,
Yep.
and trying to help you when all you did was do what we get paid to do.
You did what someone else didn't do that they should have done, and someone is dealing with that. So now they have a
Let me just like
shifted
mastermind a little bit in
idea.
here. I decided not to use the word help anymore. Like, because sometimes I see people networking like we do, saying like, "Hey, I help people doing this, and that."
Yeah.
I decided not to use the help word anymore because you are exchanging payment for service, so you're not helping.
Yeah.
You are serving, right?
Yeah.
So what do you do? So that's what I decided.
someone a
And
break.
I never really
Offered assistance.
said much help on my 30-second speech and kind of thing, because I have my
Yeah.
down to 12 seconds and it says everything that we do.
Elevator.
But I see people using the word help, and I just do like, you don't help anybody because you're charging for the service, so that's not helping.
No, you provide a service.
You're providing a service,
Yep.
and what is the quality of the service they're providing? So that is the differential part
Yeah.
of it. So what do you feel about it? It's like, this is help, or is that still like helping?
I think it is, but context is everything. But let's say, hypothetically, I'm a business partner in a flooring company. and I have access to a lot of flooring at cost, hypothetically.
It's a very specific hypothetical.
Yes.
And just if that were to be the case, I'm not saying that it is, but hypothetically, and I've got in-laws that are like, hey, I had this problem happen, I need to get my floors repaired. And I go, okay, not going to be free. Nothing in the world that you live in is free. But what I can do is provide you with invoices that I get directly from my manufacturers, and invoices I get directly from my installers, and you can pay them direct, or you can pay me. If you're going to pay with a credit card, just add a 3% credit fee, because I don't want to lose money on the credit card fee. If you want to add more because you appreciate it, that's fine. You'll never get a better deal than this. That is me helping you. It cost you $3,000 through me. That's $7,000 of profit and blah, blah, blah through everybody else. Or I'll help you even further. If I were you, I wouldn't even do it, because you're not going to sell this house anytime soon, and this is a trivial problem. And every single time you talk to people, like people, they go, I appreciate your mindset, and I appreciate this, and blah, blah, blah. You know what? I'm just going to do it. I had to charge them for the service. They had to pay money for the service. I didn't even do it at cost. I think we probably made $500 or something. We made money, and they're aware that we made money. But that helped them out because they didn't have any other opportunity to get it done. It's very specific. But that's probably what people say when, like, oh, I helped this person out because I wanted to sell it for $7,000. I sold it for $5,000.
Are you talking about Konrad's tile work that I did for him on his countertop?
We're rare in that there are some cases where we probably have given stuff away for free. You know?
Yeah.
We have material and we'll just give it to people. We've donated. And then in other cases where it's like, hey, let's do a pay at closing or pay in this time, and over the course of time, like, our business starts doing well enough that it's like they're fully expecting to pay, and they get a nice email from us one day that's like, hey, don't worry about it.
Yep.
That's a nice thing to do to help somebody. Can we help someone? Not all the time.
Yeah, but I understand what you're saying. They're more of trying to use it as a service aspect of it, and just go, hey, I offer a service.
Like a normal customer.
Yes.
Well, I'm just saying that it's
Not
possible, but
normal
it's different too when you go into a networking event. You're like, I really helped someone today, and I did this, and this, and you made money off of them.
Yep.
So yeah, I get what you're saying. I think, I don't know, because it's a people thing. You really feel like you're helping someone when someone else screwed them over, fucked them over, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
And you're coming in doing what you said you were going to do at the best, most fair price that you can possibly do it at, trying to do right by them. You know, it's like, I feel like I am helping them because they got done wrong.
Mateus, for example,
but am I really
helping that guy to get a flooring from a company that's not going to run away from the money, and also hiring him
That
to
is a
do
help. That's a
something
service
that
to
is
him.
not running away with the money?
Yeah, because he didn't feel like he was able to do it by himself. So, I mean, that helped him.
Could another word be used? Educated guidance,
Just assistance. Just
assistance.
I think there's a variety of other words you could use outside of help. I mean, help is kind of a generic term, so I agree with you. I like the assistance. I'm
got
like,
this
hey, we're here to provide a high level service. I like the word high level. I like the word providing a higher service, something along that, and spinning it different, because again, we all offer a service, and that service is going to help someone who is in need because of our process and procedures and the way we do things.
So, for example, when someone, what is your differential? I say, like, I make sure, so I don't use help, I make sure builders and general contractors keep their projects on schedule.
Yep.
So instead of doing like, I help builders and general contractors keep the schedule, because I'm not helping, I'm just make sure that they're keeping on schedule. And also I make sure that the homeowner is getting the right product with the right, labor, whatever, for their dream homes kind of thing. So I tweaked it in a way that I don't use the help word.
Yeah. Yep. Love it.
But I think assist is also a really good word. Like,
Sometimes
make sure I could use like, I assist.
Yes.
That's actually a better word.
You gotta
to be honest
know
with you.
your
I like
audience
that.
too. You know, you gotta know your audience, and words hold power. So you are in a network after network, and they also have the same mindset, and they understand the vocabulary that you're using. I don't see any problem using the word help in education. It's fantastic. Assist is excellent. You know, like people need that, exactly what they need. But when you're in a networking in which, you know, like you're talking about high level sales, negotiations, and everything, then every single word counts.
Yes.
That's counts. That's how I feel about it.
Yes. Well, and I've learned that just through networking. I've always kind of changed my pitch a little bit and stuff, and then I change my pitch to the people that I'm in the room.
You are the sharpest. You are the sharpest person in every single room. You get up, you say what needs to be said, and then you sit down. Even though if it's given you the time, if somebody give you 3 hours, you speak for 3 hours.
Yeah.
If somebody gives you
15
seconds, you
15
do
seconds.
15 seconds.
Yeah.
One of
It's
the
so
How
accurate.
much time you have?
It's a pet peeve. You go to networking events and there's 40 people there,
Yeah.
and everyone gets 30 seconds, which is
Well, we
literally
ran into that last weekend of a meeting,
People
and
going
I
over.
won't say the name because they may watch it,
Happens
and
every
no
time.
break. I love it, but everybody got up and
I
did a
don't
2-minute
love it.
sales pitch. And I'm sitting
I
there
don't love
going,
that.
guys, we got 50 people in this room, and it takes an hour, and I
Just
know
to
what
get
every one
30
of you
seconds.
do. Yeah, it's like I wanted to stand up and go, hey, people, let me show you how this is done. Jeff Vaughn, A Square Roofing and Construction, been in business for over 20 years, and we're a preferred vendor for almost 100 different companies throughout the United States. Sit down.
Yeah.
Simple and easy.
There's something else I saw
Well, I
online too.
was
It's like I've got
born
a
in Austin. And then
I have a sign up front
decided this.
on my. I just saw it somewhere. It's like it says no soliciting. Someone comes up to my front door, and I said, "Did you see that sign out there that said?" Well, yeah, I saw it. So you've already told me you can't read and listen.
Yeah.
You can't follow anything that you read.
Yeah.
But why do I want to do business with you?
Yeah.
I'm in a room with 50 different people, and you're all supposed to talk for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I want to talk to people that talk for 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Everybody that talk for 2 minutes. What the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
It's disrespectful, and I know you don't feel like it's that way, but you're not more important than anybody else that's here.
Oh, 100%.
And it's just a small little thing. It's like just you have 30 seconds, use 20.
Yep.
If you have to, use the 30.
Yeah.
Don't go over 30. It's so easy to not do that.
And one of the
it's
events
stepping
like
on
we had
everyone's
today,
toes.
the leader said, look, you get one breath. Say your name and what you do, and then sit down. So he reinforces it to make sure that we're not doing the sales pitch. And then after 2 or 3, he's like, hey, guys, cut it back down. We're talking too much. Because, again, I'm not
People
there to
take
hear
advantage
what
of that.
everybody does because I already know what everybody in the room. He and I knows everybody in the room. There were 2 guests.
I stood up. My name is Hilton Kill. Ballarini floors. I do floors.
Yeah. Now, what I have learned with smaller
Is that what it
groups,
I'd love to have a one-to-one with you, and we can talk about it more. I mean,
I didn't even say that.
You
You
didn't
know
even
what I
say
mean?
that, yeah.
yeah, because
you don't
what I'm
honestly have to anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because one of the things that I've learned too, also, like when I get into a smaller group, is when I'll bring out like the Harvard deal. Hey, I'm going to talk about remodel today. Now we're getting close to storm season, so when there's a smaller group in there and I have a little bit more time to talk, then I'll talk about, hey, storm season's coming up. Make sure you have your roofs looked at. You know what? 80% of people knock on your door that tell you to file a claim. You don't have enough damage on your roof to file a claim. So then what I'll do is I'll throw out tidbits of information in smaller groups where I can get a little bit more detailed. And sometimes in a big group, I can do it because I talk fast enough to where I can still get it all in a short period of time. And then another thing that I've learned too is when I get into groups, and Hilton does this a lot for me too, is when we get in, Randy's there, Hilton's there, Roy
shout out,
Gomez is
shout
there.
out.
We'll do a
Randall
shout out
Reed.
to each other. Hey, I want to give a shout out for Hilton. He sent me 2 leads. Now, Hilton may not have sent me a lead in a couple of weeks, but we're still going to maximize because
top of mind.
he has, yes, because again, now I'm giving
talked
him
about it.
trust to people in the room. He's giving me trust. Like when we did that meeting last Wednesday, I got up and said that. Why? There were 3 roofing companies in that room. So I stood up when he says, hey, you have shout-outs. And I go, hey, we've done almost 50 leads a business or 50 leads through this one networking group. And then there's also about 10 or 12 vendors in this group that I have used for some of our projects. Now, normally with a group that large, I wouldn't have said that in that group. I would have waited till the group was a little smaller because there were those other competition that was in there. And
Right.
actually there were 4 roofing companies in there now. But that's why I went a little bit above and beyond.
Almost non-roofing, right?
Yeah.
Companies, because 4 is almost none.
Yeah.
Normally it's like 8.
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
I know. You see, it's like Toyotas on the highway.
Oh yeah,
They're everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
And you got to find the good ones.
Yep, 100%. But you learn in networking a little bit. You learn little deals to support other people, throw pitches in there, talk about different things that are coming up to show that you're
Been
an
doing that for a
expert.
while. Maybe a couple months ago, or maybe longer than that, when you first told me about that, about little shout-outs and things to give people a little more visibility, and you have your little time to do it. That's a big brain move. That's somebody's like, I do a lot of networking, and I'm looking at small moments to get another shout-out for people. That's big brain stuff.
Yeah.
And so if everybody does that, it's beneficial for
It
everybody.
should be a no-brainer because we are bombarded by thousands of advertisements
Every
on
day.
TV, right? So every day, and we know what works and what doesn't work, and we always say like, my goodness, these people are using like $1 million for this piece of shit.
Yeah.
So we've seen it. We know that it's almost in our DNA. And then when we have to apply, we don't do it.
It's like Black Mirror in the episode of like people ended up getting like they got chips to like fix themselves, and then they got advertisement in the chip, and it's like, well, you have to upgrade. You're on the standard.
Yeah.
We
you
have
have
to
to go to
wrap up
the
these.
diamond.
Upgrade.
We have to wrap
The
up.
diamond
this
is now the
episode.
standard.
We have to wrap up this episode. I did a tidbit on a networking group this morning on the 30-second speech, and it was actually great because the one person that went over the most is a business coach,
Yeah.
right?
You've said too much.
And then a business coach, and he missed a one-to-one with me. He tried to cancel, but he texted the wrong number, not my personal number and whatnot. It's also our fault a little bit because I didn't have the system kind of texting me, was into the system, whatever. But anyways, he already booked. When I booked the one-to-one with the guy, he was already saying like, I'm all the way down south, and can we meet somewhere in the middle? And I picked up from that moment that he did not want to.
It wasn't important to him.
And he picked me for one-to-one. No, I did not pick him.
Yeah.
Right?
You want to go like, dude, I'll meet you down south. It's not a problem for me.
It's not a problem
for you.
Right? Anyways, he went long. So I did
went long.
I did the tidbit education on the 30-second speech.
You're like, don't go long.
And then it's like, well, first thing that I have to say is like, if someone tells you 30 seconds, you hear the bell of the phone,
Yep.
you stop talking and sit down. Next week, work better on your pitch, and then you do better.
Yeah.
Because if you go longer, it means you are not. If you can't follow,
You're disrespecting everybody in the room. Is what you're doing.
Well, I was gonna say,
Because if we want to get up and talk, people then sit down because I'm gonna get up and talk.
I already know
If
the
it's an
answer.
hour meeting, I'm gonna talk for an hour.
Shine.
I know the answer to this question, but I think it just someone in there does that, and then the bell goes off, and they're still going. They didn't finish, but the bell goes off, and they go, and they sit down.
Yeah.
You fucking respect that. You go, well, you know, maybe they aren't the best networker in their 30-second pitch. You fucking work on that. No one cares that you don't have the perfect. I like that you fucking sat down.
Got the ethics.
Yeah.
That's what you're working with the people.
I had one meeting, the same meeting that you're talking about,
Yeah.
previous month. There was like a more funny because it was end of the year or not.
Yep.
And then I was like making jokes and whatnot, and then my bell went to like sitting down. Thank you.
Yeah.
And they're like, bing, thank you. I did not finish my 30 seconds because I made jokes and whatnot before. I just sat down.
Yeah.
You know, I had like 4 people coming up to me. So, hey, can we have a one-to-one?
It's like a professional boxer or a UFC fighter. You're not throwing punches at the very end after the bells ring.
No.
You go to your corner and sit down.
And like you said, Dylan said, just go home and work on it and kind of shorten it down so it gets into there. Because most people
There's nothing
realize
wrong with that.
you're not selling us.
No.
You're going to tell me 90% of everybody in that room when you say what you do or your business, we know what you do. It's flooring, it's construction,
and
it's
also,
pools, it's roofing, it's an accounting.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Being in 9 networkings, it's a storytelling. You don't repeat every single time the same thing.
Yeah.
You got to think about it as the jigsaw. Like you got to understand that every time you say something, if you repeat the whole thing, the same for the different audiences, it doesn't make any sense. So you telling
Yeah,
jokes
you
makes
repeat the
sense?
same exact thing for different audiences. Like you're a comedian, you're on the road, you have the same set every single night. You're in front of the same people every night. You got to switch it up a little bit.
Commodity business, you can repeat. Non-commodity business, you have to change it up every 3 weeks so that you can get through more scenarios with people because it's non-commodities, more customized kind of.
Yeah, because I have my
service.
saying that I'm going to say, and then I always, am I going to add something onto this? Talk about roofing, talk about pools, talk about networking, talk about the great job BXN did for me last year with the leads that they sent.
Yeah.
I walk in every meeting knowing what am I talking about? What's the group look like today? What am I going to say today? Who's in the room today?
Exactly.
From that
Who's in the room?
standpoint.
Because you're going to go, especially for Hilton, there's BXN, there's NIA, there's all these different groups.
Yep.
And if you have overlapping people that you've now seen for the 3rd or 4th time today, and they've just heard you say the same thing over and over and over, it's more impressive for them when they see you have different things in your repertoire that you can say, and you've got stuff, and they go, oh, okay.
Storytelling.
And I switched them up. What I said last week at BXN, maybe I'll say next week at NIA. I don't know. And it's not like I just come up with something new every single time, but it's keeping it fresh because you are going to see the same people.
It's a tweet.
And they like to hear new things. Who likes to listen to what you want to watch the same movie every night when you go home?
Yeah.
I love a certain movie. I'm not going to watch it every night when I go home.
You
like
change
to see
your
new
ask.
shit.
You change your ask. So 1 week you're asking for, in my case, builders. 1 week you're asking for interior designers. 1 week you're asking for homeowners.
Yep.
1 week you're asking for property investors. 1 week you're asking for something else.
And rotate.
The first 8 seconds, it's the same.
Yep.
The ask is a little different.
Yes.
And then, that's what I'm saying. It goes like that. The shout outs, it's important every time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
It's a
It's a
wrap.
It's a wrap.
Thank you very much.
Hey, you know what? When we get Jeff on here, we just talk.
Love
This
it.
is a long
Love it. Appreciate it as always,
30
gentlemen.
seconds.
I hope
or
someone
3 hours.
I hope someone listening out there is motivated to either start their own business or improve the process of their small business that they currently have.
Reach out to us and we'll help you out.
Absolutely.
In this case, we will help you
Absolutely.
out.
And please like.
Subscribe.
Comment.
And whatever Spotify you do, give it a little heart button.
YouTube,
I don't know. We're new to
Spotify.
Spotify. We're happy to have you.
Amazon Music.
We are on Spotify.
We might be
guys.
there. I don't know. I have to check if the feed is going everywhere, but I think it is. So please
Do what you got to do if you like
share
it.
this content with people that you think would benefit from it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.